So we are about 10 minutes away from the kickoff of the 2023 Major League Baseball draft live in Seattle, Washington. And it looks like the Pittsburgh Pirates are about to throw a bit of a curveball into a lot of people's mock drafts. Now, obviously, when they got the number one overall pick last year, widespread speculation was they were either going to go with Dylan Cruz of LSU or Tennessee pitcher Chase Dollander. Well, Dollander didn't exactly have the season people thought he would, couldn't replicate his sophomore season success, saw his stock drop a little bit. He's still going to be a first rounder, but we're talking between the 7 to 10 range, possibly, maybe drop a little bit more than that. He's still going to be a first rounder, but not in running for number one overall. Meanwhile, another pitcher stepped up to the plate and grabbed that mantle of the could it be 1 or 1A, and that is his teammate Paul Skenes of LSU. Just a dominant season. Guy throws 99-plus miles an hour on a regular, has a nasty sinker as well. People forget, though, the guy can hit pretty damn well as on top of that. I mean, the guy won an Olerud at Air Force before he transferred to LSU. So, it was either going to be Skenes or Cruz for a while. Well, then Cruz said, I don't necessarily know if I want to play for the Pirates organization. Sentiments echoed by his agent, Scott Boras. We know that the Pirates and Boras don't exactly have the greatest working relationship. So then talks focused on Skenes. Well, as we got closer and closer to draft time and the final week leading up to these festivities, then we started seeing more and more talks about the two prep bats, Walker Jenkins and Max Clark. Well, turns out it's not going to be any of them. It's going to be the infamous none of the above. It appears as though at this point, according to members of the Pittsburgh media and now Vegas odds, the front runner for the Pirates at this point is Florida bat Wyatt Langford. Now, I don't hate this pick for the Pirates, and if you look at the consensus and read some of the overall reactions on social media, they're not crazy about the fact that the team is passing on the two LSU guys, but they're much more accepting of it being Langford than one of the two prep bats. So this to me is what you could consider I don't want to call it the consolation prize here, but we'll call this the compromise pick. That, look, you're not getting Cruz, okay? We're not getting Cruz. He's not coming here. There's nothing we can do about that. We want to get ourselves a bat. We're not quite sure that, Skenes can do the Ohtani thing in the big leagues, and we feel he's much better pitcher than a hitter. We need a hitter that's going to be pretty close to the big league level. That's Langford. And if you look at Langford's profile, look, he actually had more homers in the last 2 years than Cruz did. Now, he did have less RBIs, but I think the team that Langford was on was a little bit lesser than one LSU had that, Cruz was playing on. So he had a better OPS this season than Cruz did. Average, it's a little bit leaning towards Cruz, but it's not significant. I do know Langford has better speed than Cruz. So really the profiles are quite similar. The only difference that I see significant is that Cruz is pretty set in his position. Langford, we don't know. Is he going to play first? Is he going to play one of the outfield spots? We've yet to figure that out. But if you got talking bat-wise, look, this kid is a special talent in his own right that's sort of been overlooked in this entire draft process because of how good Skenes is and how good Cruz we've known for years is. I mean, but again, Langford, this is a guy who won a prep home run derby right before enrolling in Florida. The guy has major power. The guy has major speed. So this is not a sloppy, shitty pick for the Pirates, even though they are picking under slot to get him. But I think he's a guy who is going to be in Pittsburgh sooner rather than later. I would not be surprised if he winds up in Altoona next year fairly quickly and works his way up the ranks. So, again, 6:56, we're going to get into draft time. It appears as though right now, with about 5 minutes till the draft, Wyatt Langford of Florida is the pick. Plenty to like there. We'll see what happens next for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I could be wrong, and if they do something different, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to evaluate the pick and break it down much more in depth. Thank you for tuning in. I am JP. We'll talk soon.